Well, I am the last man who did taxation and interest rates, not by my own will. I had failed to persuade John Major to have an independent Bank of England, but I raised rates and I put them down sometimes. It makes me think about what would I do if I was still attending Monetary Policy Committee meetings, and what would I do if it was still my decision. I would have put up rates by the 0.25% they have about 2 or 3 months ago, and I'd be ready to do it again, but probably not this year. But by early next year, I'd be anxiously looking at the data as you get it. I'd be expecting that the next move is going to be up again. I would not be expecting that the next move is going to be down. But nobody should, of course, everybody realises now that I have no involvement with any of these things anymore.
You mentioned asset purchases by the bank as well, quantitative easing in the jargon. Is it time for the bank to start thinking about unwinding some of these purchases in the way that the US Federal Reserve is?
Well, not yet. No, I think the economy is too weak for that, and you might give another boost to inflation. The sooner we can start getting back to normality, the better. But we just better see how we get on. Normally, you refrain from tightening policy when the economy is in a weakish position. On this occasion, there are the extra reasons. There's the inflation, risk of another devaluation. I think there was always a risk we'd have another devaluation, make people poorer again by putting inflation up higher. I think to show you're ready to put up interest rates protects a bit against that. And then all this extraordinary borrowing that's going on that you've got to stop. So I wouldn't do any more this year. Again, if you ask me what I would do, I would expect that I'd be raising it again, trying to persuade the committee to raise it again in the beginning of next year.
Very striking. We've had the Eurozone third quarter GDP data this week. The Eurozone now outstripping the UK's GDP growth. France even doing so quite strikingly. Are you concerned about the pace of Brexit talks and the kind of impact that's having on economic activity here? I mean, the bank clearly is.
Well, the Eurozone growth is very good news because it's our major market. So we do need something to be going for us. So that is, I hope it's continued. When I meet European politicians, I tell them not to get overexcited and start giving me the usual propaganda. The Eurozone, is going through a good patch, and it could sustain it. I hope so. It's very good news for Britain when they do, because they're our major market. Our problem, and everybody's problem, is that the Brexit talks are completely stalled. They will remain stalled until the British government have agreed with each other on a policy of what they really want to pursue, and that is having a very adverse effect on our economy and others. The global economy is affected by all this uncertainty about what exactly the British are going to do when they pull out of their present relationship with the rules-based system the world's run by.
Looking ahead to the budget, which is now just 3 weeks away, anything that you would be looking to do, particularly if you were still in number 11?
I've been looking to try to keep the country on track, to try to avoid going in for more borrowing and debt than we already have, which is too much, trying to do what I can to stimulate the development of a modern new economy. And just as the Governor of the Bank of England has demonstrated that he has a duty to pursue grown-up policies, I'm sure the Chancellor of Exchequer, Philip Hammond, is very conscious of his role. I'm a fan of Philip Hammond's. He will know that he has quite a difficult task to keep the economy in one piece and to restore confidence and get some growth going again. But every Chancellor needs to put his tin hat on with the flurry of lobbying that hits every Chancellor every year. Always sounds deeply, deeply moving. Do explore the facts. And also, big problem for Philip, choose what the actual priorities are in the national interest. That's what you're there for. Exactly as the governors had to decide what to do about interest rates in the national interest.